so it's a slide hammer built in to the ground rod. It's all stainless steel. All I'm gonna do, and then when I get ready to remove my ground rod, all I have to do is hammer it up and out.
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life. Times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss. That's right.
All day long, we build the fence. Hey there, folks. This is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to another gorgeous fall day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm, and we're on a different place than you've ever seen before. This is going to be the first time we ever fence off our silvopasture. What do you think about that tree right there? That's my elbow tree. You'll get a better look at that in a minute. So today, what we're going to be doing on the farm is we're going to be fencing off some silvopasture. Just like I said, we're going to be using temporary fencing system from Range Ward. This is called the Range Ward Razor Grazer. It's kind of a tongue twister right there. Range Ward Razor Grazer. There'll be a link down the video description for you guys if you want to check one out. This is an all-encompassing electric fence modular buggy that you roll around your property and you can section off various sections of your pasture. So if you're out there and you're grazing and you know you need another rotation on a section of pasture, or you want to split a section of pasture, or you want to fence off a spot that has never been fenced before with temporary fencing, this might be the answer for you guys. So this is called the Razor Grazers. Come along, we're going to show you how it all works. It's really cool. It's a solar panel, electric fence, battery, and it reels up its own wire. Really cool. Hey, as promised, we're showing you the elbow tree real quick. That is my elbow tree right there. I've never seen a tree grow like that. That is a wild cherry here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, and it just grew like that. I have no idea why it grew like that, but it's really cool. A unique little eyepiece for the Stoney Ridge Farm. I like it. I think it's fun. I'll never cut that tree. It's really, really cool. Unless it dies, and then we'll put it in the fireplace. All right, guys, before we get into this, I'm Josh. This is the Stoney Ridge Farm. If this is your first time or your 50 millionth time, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We are a regenerative farm here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, and we're here because of you, because all you guys that watch the channel have helped so much and have gave me so much feedback, and we're here to educate and to show you how we're building our first generation farm. This is just one of the many tools that we are using here on the farm. Now, Range Ward sent this out here to me to play with it, to use it, to test it, to try it, and it's in production right now. So they have factories, I believe. It says made in the USA. They have a factory in Canada, and they may have a factory somewhere else. I don't know. I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. So this is, again, an all-encompassing trailer that you pull with your side-by-side ATV pickup truck wherever and whenever you want to go. You can pull it down the road if you want to. I don't know what the tires are rated at, probably 45 miles an hour. So if you've got a farm that's way off from your house, or if you've got different sections where you have cattle, in other words, if you have a farm over here and 5 miles away, you have another farm over there, you can move this. It's a modular system, a totally modular, trailered electric fence system that's totally self-contained. So let's walk around it real quick before we go ahead and install it. And I want to show you a few things and talk to you about a few things that this thing does that I don't have. It's got some cool features. Let's walk around it. This is the Razor Grazer, and right now I have this wire hooked up. This wire goes to a reel that reels everything up. I'll show you that in just a second. So this is the box for the Razor Grazer. It simply opens and closes, has a nice latch system, all mechanical. It has a key so you can lock this thing up. Again, it's called the Razor Grazer, and it fits right on a 2-inch ball on your ATV. It has a jack on it right here. It's pretty lightweight up front, so you can lift it up and do it. You can, again, hook it to your pickup truck, pull it down the road side by side, whatever you want to do. It also has a jack right here, so when we want it to be standalone, we can pull this pin, pull that pin, drop that jack, and let it sit here. But we're not going to install the fencing just right here. We'll show you what we're going to do in a second. So inside here comes a kit with testers and all sorts of stuff. We don't need to show you all that. There's enough room for storage in here if you have some tools or gloves or anything you want to store, and there's a 12-volt DC battery with a Sunkeeper charging system right here. So you see it lit up and probably blinking right there. And then we have a Patriot electric fence charger, and this simply clips to our battery system with these alligator clips. We're not going to clip it up yet. We'll show you that here in just a second. So this is the 12-volt battery. This cable right here goes to a standard pickup truck type 7-way plug. Okay, that 7-way plug would plug in to this critter right here, just like so, or you could use it on your pickup truck if you wanted to also. And that runs a motor. This motor right here winds your wire in, and this is called Power Braid from Range Ward. It's reflective and it's 1/4 inch, and I believe that's a 1/4 mile roll. Okay, so this connects to your electric fence, electrified right there, or not electrified right there, and we'll show you how we connect that here in just a little bit as we pull this wire out by using our step-in post. Now, this is a 50-watt solar panel that runs the charging system inside that box, and we can just about close that box here in just a second. We're gonna pull this little pin, and we'll show you the unique design feature we have here. So this raises up via these little hydraulic things, kind of like a hatchback on a 1984 Chevette. These are step-in posts, and this is the strain right step-in post right here. We're big fans of strain right. We get those at Farm Fence Solutions, farmfencesolutions.com. I'll post a link down there for you. And this is what comes with the Range Ward, and this is a pigtail step-in post also. This again is a Gallagher step-in post. These posts are all made in New Zealand, I do believe. I prefer the strain right, but it does come with the Gallagher, and I think you could probably order it without post if you wanted to use your strain right post that you currently have. These, again, are available at Farm Fence Solutions. So we have 40 on one side, 40 on the other side. That's 80 posts. Holy macaroni, that's a lot of posts. The unique little design feature here is we have reflectiveness on the back right here, but when we close this down, it locks those posts into place so that they can't fall out. So it's a convenient way to tote a bunch of posts. And again, it's on a hydraulic cylinder right here. Ideally, you want this either facing straight up and down or facing south. Just depends on what time of year and where you are as opposed to the equator, okay guys? Over here on this side, we can put another roll of wire, and we can put another roll of wire over here, and we also have options of more rolls in case you have sheep or something like that and you want to use one of these type of posts. This type of post you can run multiple strands on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you're running hogs or something like that, or sheep and you need multiple strands, this Range Ward razor grazer will handle multiple strands. Now, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and install this fence. So I've got to pull the ATV way up here, and we're gonna be fencing in probably 3 acres, maybe 3.5 acres right here. And we're just gonna roll through, we're gonna put our step-in posts in the ground, and then we're gonna pull our wire right through those step-in posts, and we're gonna hook it right up. So let's get busy working with this thing. Life I love is making music with my friends. All right, so we're right where we want to be right here, and this is the section we're going to let the cows out this gate, and this is the perimeter fence right here. We'll show you real quick. So the cows are in this pasture. They'll be over here in about 4 days, and that's the perimeter fence that runs along the whole farm. So we're gonna section this off into two sections. We got one section here, and we have one section right here. The cows will be able to access the water. All we're gonna do is just open this gate and let it swing. The waterer is right up there, and then there's another waterer right up there. So the cows have plenty of access to all the water they're gonna need. This is gonna be about 1.5 acres, and then this is gonna be about 1.5 acres. So we're gonna fence in this first 1.5 acres first, and then when we get ready to move the cows to the next section, we'll fence that in. Again, totally modular system. So we've got all our posts in the ground now, and we're ready to rock and roll. We're gonna go ahead and pull off our wire. Before we pull off our wire, we're gonna disconnect it from the ATV really quickly. So super simple, I'll just pull a couple pins and we'll drop it right here, and I'll show you how the ground rod goes in the ground. Very interesting, unique ground rod. So we're gonna drop that foot that we showed you earlier, pull a pin, good to go. This thing is all totally self-contained at the moment. This is the ground rod setup. So it's a slide hammer built in to the ground rod. It's all stainless steel. All I'm gonna do, and then when I get ready to remove my ground rod, all I have to do is hammer it up and out, just like that. That is super cool. I wish I'd have thought of that. So if you've ever ran electric fence, you know that ground is super important, and having good ground contact is super important, guys. Snug that guy down a little bit. And then our ground clamp goes right on here. Oh, that's stout. There we go. So now when we get ready to remove our ground rod, all we gotta do is take that slide hammer and go clink, 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 and it comes right out of the ground. And we use this really robust, heavy duty clamp right here. Now, a smart guy like myself would put it closer to the ground. Again, we're trying to ground this thing, right? So we're gonna put it closer to the ground. Probably could put it around that bolt. It might get a little bit better bite. Oh, right there. Good deal. Awesome. Now this is what ties into our power braid. It just wraps around it real quick. So we'll go ahead and we'll unreel and we'll just head off and head that way. I'll show you how we connect up to the other end down there. It's quite a walk. Pull this to release, slide that back. This engages a bolt, slide that bolt back, and now we freewheel all the way out. So we're gonna go right through our pigtails, just like so, and run it on out. This would be hot, the metal, and this is going to be cold. So we're gonna hook it up to a cold hookup right here. I put these extra posts here in case I needed them. That's gonna hold it in place. If this were energized, we'd wanna go here, but it's not, okay? This is not electric fence, and this is. It's important that we put a post in on all the high spots and all the low spots. See how low that wire is? We had a high spot right here. There we go. So we're hooked to there, and we go all the way around, way back over there. Awesome. I'm gonna walk back through and put my rope in all of my pigtails. This does work better and is a lot easier with 2 people, okay? So with 2 people, you can just ride along and take posts off as you need it. One person walks, one person rides, and it's super, super simple. There we go. I do about 15 paces between posts, which equals somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 feet, closer to 25 feet. If you want them a little closer, if your cows aren't quite trained to a poly rope like this, and you might want to go every 10 feet or so until they get trained to it. It only takes a few little shocks to get trained to this. Let's talk about electric fencing real quick. Some people have a misconception that an electric fence is always going bzzz, but it's not. It pulses. In other words, it sends out high voltage, low amperage pulses. And when it sends those pulses out, it goes tick, 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 and that pulse is what will shock the animal, okay? We're not trying to shock the animal. What we're trying to do is provide a psychological barrier. So this is not a physical barrier. The cow can easily go through this, or sheep, goat, whatever. But with a psychological barrier, they fear the shock, so they stay clear of the poly rope. Now, we're here to our last post, which is going to be looped right through here. Make a little loop, pull tight, pull it right there, and our entire fencing system is in place all the way out through there. We're going to reel our wire in and pull it snug. I'll show you how that's done. We're going to plug in our electrical hookup for our wire reel. Mash our button and reel our wire in once we've engaged the reel. And we'll pull it tight. We don't have to pull it tight by hand. All right. Nice. So, we're snug as a bug now. Check it out. This is how tight. Doesn't have to be super tight, just has to be enough to where it doesn't sag. If we have any spots that sag throughout the line right here, all we'll do is simply take our wire. I can't pull any slack, it's too tight, but we'll wrap it around our post a couple times and that will pull up any slack. We'll go back and we'll double check everything. Again, if you had 2 people, it would make it super, super easy, guys. Now, we're gonna leave this plugged up. It's not gonna hurt a thing in the world. We're gonna go ahead and hook up our electric fence charger. This is our hot wire. It's clearly marked with red tape. We're just simply gonna take our hot wire and this metal wire right here, wrap it around a few times right there, okay? We're totally insulated from the machine. We're totally insulated to the wire, and we have this little grommet right here that insulates everything. Now we're gonna turn on the fence. So we'll connect up our negative and our positive. Should start hearing a pop. And now our electric fence is totally hot. We'll get our tester out and show you. This is a live fence indicator. Again, our solar panel is still charging. The sun's hitting it, it's charging. Okay, we'll stick this in the ground and hit a rock and another rock, Stoney Ridge Farm, and then we'll slide this onto our fence. So interwoven in this rope are little electric filaments, little metal filaments, and those little metal filaments are what carry the electricity through here. Like I said before, it just pops. Pop, pop, woo! Pop your finger too. There you go. Indicates a live fence. Woo! All right, that's how the Range Ward Razor Grazer works, guys. So I thought I'd bring you along as I hook this up for the very first time on the farm. Again, there'll be a link down the video description. If you decide you want to get yourself one of these, be sure you tell them you saw it on Stoney Ridge Farm. I'm not sure if they're going to give us a discount code or not, or if they're going to give us a special link or not, but I'll post a link down there for you guys. If you have any questions, please post them down there. The Range Ward folks will be there to answer any questions. Again, if you need strain right posts, you can get those at Farm Fence Solutions. We're going to be testing out a lot of different electric fence solutions coming up here on the channel. So we've got a strain right electric fence solution that we're going to test out. That again is from Farm Fence Solutions and Strain Right, and what we're going to be doing again is trying to find the best solution for an off-grid electric fence. This is awesome. This is totally awesome, guys. I can't say enough about it. I'll post a link down there. Thanks a lot for joining me. There is an all-in-one mobile electric fence solution for pasture grazing. If you want to split a pasture, or if you want to run a paddock, or if you want to fence something like this that we just did, that's the solution. See you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo!
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
So now when we get ready to remove our sun glare, it's important that we hit a rock. Colin. Nathan from Out of the Woods, you're live on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel.
My goodness, Josh, I was calling you to say good job on that podcast. I didn't realize you was on the Angry American podcast the other day.
Oh yeah, let me hit stop on this camera real quick.